Hello, everyone. My name is John Call, and I want to welcome you to Community Connections. Today, we're talking to St. Mary's of the Annunciation School in Danvers, and I'm joined by Erica Gabinelli and Genevieve Fiorente. Erica is the Erica is the principal, and Genevieve is the director of admissions. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
It is a pleasure. And I see some youngsters here with you as well. Could you introduce them to us?
I'd love to. To my left is 8th grader Emma Maurer. Behind Mrs. Fiorente, is 8th grader Ashley Shan. Next to Ashley, we have Jake Minchelski, 8th grader. And behind me is Finn Dempsey, another 8th grader.
Excellent. So you guys here because you really wanted to be interviewed today, or because you're getting off of school? I know the answer to that. You don't have to answer.
Probably a little of both.
Wonderful. All right, so let's start, Erica. So the school was founded in 1958. That's a long time ago.
It is.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the school and how you got to where you are today?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to have Genevieve help me a little bit because she has been at St. Mary's for quite some time, and this is only my 5th year at St. Mary's, so I'm going to have her help me with the history. Excellent. And then we can talk about where we are today.
Great, thank you.
Well, hello. Glad to be here at DCAT today with you, John, old friend. I just wanted to share with you that the school was initially built in 1958. That's when first classes took their seats, which was close to 700 students. And these students were all from the Danvers area. Right now, we sponsor students from 25 different communities as far away as southern New Hampshire. So we're proud to say that our school is doing very, very well. When the school began, we had 1st grade to 8th grade, and then it extended to kindergarten, and then it extended to preschool, and then we started an extended day program, and then we went to the 3-year-old program. So we have 337 students right now, proudly to say, and we have a great governance.
That's excellent. And I understand that you have a partnership with Bishop Fenwick. We'll get into that more later, but when did that happen? 2018,
Bishop Fenwick became our partner. The school was having a little trouble at that time, and so Bishop Fenwick stepped in at the request of the Archdiocese of Boston, and since that time we've grown. I would say in 2021, when I first started at St. Mary's, we had 238 students, and like Jen said, we're now up to 337 pre-K 3 to 8th grade. So
that's great.
We're showing some great growth.
That's great. Yeah, the 3-year-olds must be a lot of fun. I have a 3-year-old, or she's going to be 3-year-old granddaughter, and we just went to her preschool orientation, and it's interesting seeing all those little kids in the classroom. So what makes St. Mary's so special? I know it's a Catholic school. I know you have students that are not Catholics now, but what makes St. Mary's such a special school?
I think it's just the welcoming community that we have, all the way from students, staff, parents. Everyone who is a part of this community just pitches in and makes everyone that walks through our doors feel welcome. It's really hard to describe, but it is a special feeling when you walk through the doors of St. Mary's, and that's because we have wonderful students, wonderful faculty and staff, and great community members, and the greater Danvers community also supports us, so it's lovely.
That's great. That's great. Now, I remember, the school was originally built by St. Mary's Parish down on Conant Street, and then in the 60s, I think it was the 60s, the Archdiocese decided that they would need 2 Catholic churches in Danvers, so St. Richard's was created, and then the 2 parishes shared the school. And it's been a long history together, and now, as you mentioned, you've joined with Bishop Fenwick. So when you branched out to those other 25 communities, what was that like, bringing students in that were not necessarily Danvers students?
I think Jen can speak a little bit more to that, but I'll just say I think they fit in immediately. It was nice to have the varying communities that came into Danvers, because it really showcases this town and what it can offer, but also is our school as well. But since Jen's our director of admissions, I'm going to let her kind of expand on that.
Well, truthfully, children who come to St. Mary's from other schools are very apprehensive. They don't want to leave their schools. They don't want to leave their friends. They don't want to leave their community. But as we say in the admissions team, we say, what's wrong with having more friends? You have your school friends, your church friends, your neighborhood friends, your sports friends. So why not have more friends? The majority of kids that do enter St. Mary's School are very, very successful. And after, I would say, the first 2 weeks of school, they're just elated. They're just elated that they're learning and they're making more friends.
Yeah, that's great. It's funny how those memories do last forever. My wife went to St. Mary's High School in Lynn, and she just went back for her 50th class reunion, and there were about 80 people there, which I thought was great. There were only 172 in the class, so almost half the class came back for their 50th class reunion, and they all spoke about such great memories and remembering everybody. And so you're starting that with the little kids at 3 years old, and taking it on through.
Absolutely. And, we look to create those memories too through the activities and the events and all the interactions that we have with our students on a daily basis. And I'm sure that these guys can speak a little bit more to that as well, but that's kind of the atmosphere that we hope for too, that people are going to come back, several years later and reminisce on how wonderful their time at St. Mary's was.
Well, you do have quite the alumni program, correct?
We're working on that. Yeah, we're building it up as we go. Our advancement director, Sue Guthrie, is working on that. But we've had a lot of people come back. We have some teachers now who were students at our school, so it's nice to have them come back and kind of give back to that community that gave to them as well.
Yeah. So speaking of activities, let's jump right to the kids. Why don't you talk to me about your activities and your after-school programs, things that you participate in, things that you really like?
Yeah, I'm involved in the theater program, the choir program. I'm in National Junior Honor Society, and sometimes I will volunteer for the younger kids, the pre-K clubs. And I think it's so fun. There's so many different enrichments and programs, from ski club to cross country to theater, that there's really something for everyone. And so many people in the school get to be part of not just coming to school to learn, but to learn other things amongst academics. I think it's so fun.
That's great. That's great. How about you guys in the back?
Yeah, there's so many programs for you to do stuff. If you're okay, wait, that wasn't one of my questions. I don't know what I'm like.
Well, what kind of activities do you participate in at school?
I'm in National Junior Honor Society, and we help with the younger kids. We help with Mini Makers, which is a program for younger kids who they how do I describe Mini Makers?
It's innovative design that
Yeah,
they do, and they
they-
can create things
They create stuff, and yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And you?
So I'm in cross country, and I'm in National Junior Honor Society, and I help with student council. In National Junior Honor Society, in student council kind of work together, and they help run the service events. We do drive to help we did cereal drive last week. It was run by 8th graders, and both National Junior Honor Society and student council help out with running those and setting them up. In cross country, it helps it's community, it's from 3rd grade to 8th grade, and you just get out and run cross country.
Yeah, I did cross country when I was in high school, and I hated it. I don't know why I did it, but I don't like to run.
I'm in NJHS, and NJHS or National Junior Honor Society, is just a really great program. It helps so many people, and we get to do things like service projects outside of school. This summer, I helped out with a camp that my church puts on, and it's kind of to help the underserved community in Dorchester, I think that's what it's called, and it's really great. And in JHS you have to do complete service hours, but I think it's just really great to go out and help other people and through National Junior Honor Society.
Yep, that's great. That's wonderful. So Erica, back to you. With the mention of service hours, do you have a requirement of service hours for the kids in school?
The only requirement is for those who are involved in National Junior Honor Society, but we have service that we complete as a whole school on a regular basis. I believe Jake just alluded to our cereal drive. Last week we collected over 900 boxes, close to 1,000 boxes of cereal for the People to People Food Bank in
That's great.
Danvers.
Yep.
So we're looking to deliver that tomorrow, which is really exciting. That's the most we've ever collected. Last year during our Catholic Schools Week, we did a day of service, and we went to different places around the community of Danvers and beyond to say thank you and hand out snacks to people who have helped us or come to us as well. We wanted to give back to the community. So there's a variety of things we do during the course of the year. We have what we call casual for a cause. So the students, you can see they're in their uniforms, but certain days they get to dress down and they
Wear
either
pajamas to school, that kind of thing?
no pajamas, John. But they do get to dress down in casual wear, and we donate to certain causes in the community, like the cereal.
That's great. Now, the Danvers Collaborative, St. Mary's and St. Richard's, had a day of service as well. Was this part of it or a separate one?
Separate.
Separate.
Yep.
That's great. That is really good. Thank you. And so I understand there are 3 core tenets to the school. Can you explain those?
Yeah, sure. Our mission is scholarship, service, and self-discipline. And those are really the tenets that we live by. We talk with students all the time about the fact that the scholarship is obviously the reason that they're there, right? The service is us being able to give back to our greater community, and that's why God has placed them in these positions to be able to do that. And then the self-discipline is really just kind of taking ownership of your learning and all that encompasses through behavior, through the different projects, through getting involved in the community. So it's really a great mission to have, and it leads us into we have a Virtue of the Month program where students get recognized each month for embodying different virtues. This month is hope for us. So we really try to engage the students in a variety of ways beyond the classroom.
So on those students, how many do you pick each month?
It depends on who has kind of shown us, but typically it's 1 to 2 kids from each grade level. So even the pre-K 3 kiddos get recognized at our assembly after
There's
Mass.
a lot of hope down there at the
There
pre-K
is.
3.
There
that's for
sure
darn
is.
sure.
Yeah. Yep. So it's lovely to see the kids get excited for each other. They anxiously wait to see who's going to get announced this month, and it's a lot of fun. So it's a nice way to recognize kids for the hard work that they're putting in during the day.
Yeah, that is excellent. And I love the self-discipline of the learning part, because to me the learning, and I think you alluded to it, that it's not just the books, it's not just school, it's everything in life, and you have to be disciplined in order to live a good life. You have to make good choices, you have to do the right thing, and it's different for every person, right? So so it's good that you're teaching that.
And it plays out in different ways in the building too, which is nice to see, because we have everybody learns differently and grows differently, and that's the best part about being an educator, is being able to see that and help that and foster that.
Yeah. Well, walk me through, speaking of a day at school, walk me through a day at school. Kind of what does that look like?
Sure. I'm going to hand it off to Jake. I think
Absolutely.
you can
Yep.
explain it a little bit better as a student, from the student perspective.
So yeah, my mom's a teacher at the school, so I have to get to school an hour before because she has to be there, and then I go to safety squad, which is when you help like the pre-K or like the kindergarten kids walk from their cars into their classrooms and get there, like make sure they get to their classrooms. And then like 5 minutes before prayer happens, we go up to our homeroom, then we say prayer. Then some of the kids from 8th grade go down and say prayer for like the whole school in the morning and in the afternoon. And then we have 5 classes in the morning in middle school, and then we go to lunch and recess, and then we have 2 in the afternoon, and then at 2:50 we leave and say prayer, and then we leave and go home.
Or to after-school activities.
Or at yes.
Right, so that's great. What time do you start in the morning?
It's 8:10.
For everybody else, you're there at 7:10, right?
Yeah.
That's good. Well, 8:10 is not so bad, I guess. It seems like, I don't know, the buses are coming by at like 7 o'clock in the morning to pick kids up, and that seems awful early for going to school, right, guys? Too early? Yeah. Need to sleep a
Especially
little
for middle school, right?
more. So talk to me about the partnership, as you call it, with Bishop Fenwick. How has that affected the school? How do you interact with Bishop Fenwick? Do they interact with your students at all, their students and your students, that type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really been, I would say, a very fruitful partnership for both of us. Certainly, when we were struggling a little bit, their guidance and leadership helped us kind of get back on track, putting the right people in the right places in order to help us grow, and overseeing that. And then from there, we've just found different ways to collaborate as schools. So some of their students come over and help us with our aftercare program. There's been a couple of Catholic Schools Weeks where they've volunteered to come help us with a STEM project. So there's a variety of ways in which we interact. And of course, President Tom Noonan is overseeing both schools, and he comes over and we have them visit all the time, and he attends our events like Mass and any special events, the Christmas pageant, things like that. So it's really been a great partnership, and we're looking for continued ways to keep it growing.
That's great. That's great. And do you happen to know how big Bishop Fenwick is? I don't.
Not off the top of my head.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
You didn't need to. It's all right.
Yeah.
That's good. And you have partnerships with families as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, the school to home partnership is really important to us. We've just created a new PTF, so it's a parent teacher friends group that really helps us with all the events. There's a lot of events that go into an elementary school, and then a Catholic elementary school to boot. We have a lot of different things that we participate in, and we want to provide for students in the community as a whole experience. For example, we have trunk or treat coming up. So parents line the backyard, and we have several trunks. We already have 15 families signed up October 25th. So that's coming right up. But there's just different events. We have a welcome back candy bar bingo, and it's as fabulous as it sounds, where parents come in and kids play bingo and they win candy. So we send them home with candy.
Right.
But it's just those events that are really what bring our community together. And so we need help with that, because otherwise it would just be the staff.
Right.
So our parents chip in, and they are wonderful. In fact, they just helped sponsor an internet safety speaker that came to talk with our kids and our families. So there's a lot of great things that happen, and that's in collaboration with home and school.
That's great. And speaking of the internet, big changes since I was in school, and the fact of cell phones and the use of the internet, now the use of AI in all types of things. What sort of things have you put in place to deal with those issues?
So I'm going to say, shout out to our parents and our kids, because they're not really huge issues at our school. Our kids put their phones in their backpacks at the beginning of the day, and then that's where they stay. And we use technology within the classroom, and we teach them how to use it appropriately. And then we have built a maker space. So through our technology integrator, Dan Saulnier, he has built this maker space where it teaches kids how to be innovative and creative. And so we're kind of working to teach them how to use it appropriately and teach them how it can be an advantage in whatever they choose to do moving forward, versus worrying about how they're going to misuse it.
Right.
We
yeah,
try to
so
be a little bit proactive about that.
to make it a tool, not the answer.
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
That's great. And kids, what type of events or traditions do you have at school that you really like?
I feel like we have a lot of stuff every year that are just so fun. But like she mentioned, like candy bar bingo or trunk or treat, I think those are really good events for the community. They're fun things that kids will get really excited for. I think Catholic Schools Week is a really important one too. That is very special to our school, because we'll do the service projects, or we'll go to other the police station, the fire station, and give back to the community. I think the whole week with before Christmas break is really special. I enjoy that because the pre-K kids, the older grades, will help them with their little the Christmas pageant, and so they'll do a little show, and then the older kids will do a show too, and they'll have songs they sing, and it's really fun.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, kind of a variety hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, the one that I look forward to each year is Boxes of Joy, which are Christmas gift boxes that are assembled and sent
I'm
to
familiar with them,
poor children in developing countries. And then we have Catholic Schools Week, which there's fun activities, spirit days, dress down days, and community service, which our class last year delivered snacks to the PVD Police Department.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Yeah, those boxes of joy need to be bigger, I think.
Yeah.
They really do.
So my favorite thing is probably the Buddies program. It's when we when the middle schoolers go help or we go hang out with the pre-K and kindergarten kids, and we build connections with the younger kids in the school, and we have relationships with them in we do like activities and stuff with the pre-K and younger kids.
That's really great that you kind of have that buddy program where the older kids help the younger kids adapt and get familiar with and be successful in school.
I guess this is more so like a once a month thing, but definitely mass is one of my favorite things because it kind of just shows that we're a Catholic school and everybody gets to go to mass together, and it's just a really great thing because we get to see the little kids like participating in mass.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really great.
It's good that you say that. I'm a lector at St. Richard's, and one of my favorite things is to be on the altar and see the little kids come up with their parents coming to communion, and just the look in their faces as they're looking up at the priest, and the awe in their eyes of being in church and being at mass. So I can imagine what you see every month. It's funny that you mentioned the mass. St. Richard's had their 50th anniversary 14 years ago, I think. And in doing research for that, we went back and found looking up when St. Richard's was built. We were down at the Archdiocese and found lots of information. But one of the things that we found in pictures that we found was that Mass was held at St. Mary's School in the gymnasium. And there was a Mass every hour on Sunday, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12:30 Mass every Sunday, because I guess our church holds 750 people, but I don't know if they were expecting that many, but they needed lots of masses at St. Mary's School, so that was interesting. Question for the kids here. How long have you all been going to school there? Let's ask that one first, one at a time.
This is my 7th year at St. Mary's, so I started in 2nd grade. And I even remember like when I came for a day in 1st grade, everyone was so welcoming. I came in the classroom and I was really nervous because I was only little, and multiple kids came up to me and they were like, "Oh, hi, welcome," and gave me a hug, and I still remember that to this
Excellent.
day.
So this will be my 3rd year at St. Mary's. I started in 6th grade, and I will say it was really scary starting in a new school, especially because I had made a lot of great friends at my old school, but St. Mary's was so welcoming, and it was just so much fun getting to know different people.
Were you coming from outside of Danvers?
Yeah, I actually went to a tiny private school that was in Sudbury, Massachusetts.
So this will be my 4th year going to St. Mary's. I started in 5th grade, and I like didn't shadow. Emma was talking about how she went in 1st grade. She went for a day. That's like shadowing. I didn't do that, so it was my first day in 5th grade, and I was very nervous. But it was maybe a week, and then I was kind of eased into it, and I was already felt like I've been there for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my 5th year at St. Mary's. I started here in 4th grade. I didn't shadow either, just came.
Thrown right into the deep
Yeah.
end.
And they were very, very, very welcoming when I showed. And like my friend Jack, I went to school with him in 3rd grade at a different school. And then he went to St. Mary's, and then I went to St. Mary's. I had no clue he went to St. Mary's, but he walked me to my class, and I met up with him.
That's great. That's great. So all of that was a prelude to the difficult question. How do you think your Catholic education is going to help you for the rest of your life?
No, you can go, Emma.
Oh, I'll go. Okay. I think it's super important, super great that our school does so much stuff for like the Catholic faith, like learning about Catholicism. We have one of our regular everyday classes is religion, and each grade will like learn about, we'll do different stuff with our textbooks, or we'll do different like group activities. One thing we do buddies like in that, and I think it's super great at buddies because we do get to like teach the younger kids about their faith and about Catholicism, and we'll like do the prayer with them or the rosary. And yeah, like Ashley said earlier, when we do mass every month, and I think that's super important too because everyone is so involved, and the priest will like go and ask like the little kids questions, and they'll raise their hands and try and answer, and I think it's super important.
That's
I think
great.
that will help me like most of my life like follow through Catholicism. It's really since joining St. Mary's, I've really grown in my faith.
Great, thank you. Others?
I believe that St. Mary's will help me later down the road because they've taught me the importance of treating everyone with kindness and respect, and they've taught me the importance of faith and perseverance, and they've taught me the value of service.
That's great.
Yeah, so it will help me because like it's like makes me like it like got me better in like my faith in like because we have religion every day, we have mass every month. In each grade, each grade leads a mass, so like they like do the speaking, and then they kind of get more familiar with mass through doing that. So that's how I think it will help me.
Great.
My school really helps me because it reinforces everything that I learn at home about my faith, and we really talk about living out the virtues of like faith, hope, and charity. Those are just some of our examples. Like we do virtues of the month every month, which is really great. And yeah, just overall, just really our faith like at St. Mary's is super strong, and it has helped me like become stronger in my faith.
That's good. Yeah, it's something that it's almost like it's helping you to be a better person, and being a better person is something that you want to be all your life, right? So it's building that strong foundation that you can count on for the rest of your lives. Now, Genevieve, I'm asking you this because you've been there the longest. When did the Sisters of Notre Dame stop teaching at St. Mary's?
Well, my dear friend, Sister Teresa, who I hear from once a week, sometimes twice or three times a week, she left us, I want to say, about 8 years ago. So it was a real loss. She had taught first grade forever, and it was just time for her to go.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who come to the school want to know if we have religious. Unfortunately, we do not have religious. Years ago, we had all religious.
Right.
When
That's
I
how
went
it started.
When I went to
1958.
parochial school, and that was many, many years ago.
Yeah.
We even at that time, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, we started to lose the religious.
Sure.
And had 2 or 3 lay as well.
Yeah, I went to St. Mary Queen of Heaven in Buffalo, New York, and so we had nuns teaching us there. And by the time I left there in 8th grade, I think I had 3 non-religious teachers at that time. So it's been coming for a long time.
And it's really special when you hear these children talk about how their Catholic faith will be with them forever. Not only is it with them, but there are a lot of children that come from families to our school who aren't religious. And at the end of the first year, you'll hear them speaking, "We're saying grace now, Genevieve.
That's great.
We're going to church at least once a month." So not only are these children who are learning it, they're bringing the faith to their families, which
Yeah.
is important.
Do you guys all have siblings at St. Mary's as well?
Yeah, I have my twin sisters also at St. Mary's.
That's great. Everybody?
2 that just graduated.
Oh,
Still
that's
on.
good. Yeah. So you're the youngers. What are the highlights of a school year? You talked about the special events that go on, but from an administrative perspective or a teacher's perspective, what are some of the things that you really look forward to in the year? The starting of the school year, obviously.
Honestly, the highlight for me is every morning greeting the students as they come in the door and seeing how happy they are as they walk through the door. They just jump on in, and it's never, I don't want to go to school, or I'm not feeling like I want to do this today. They come in, they're happy. They are usually lined up at the door before we can open it, and that's to me is like a highlight, because I feel like that shows us that we're doing something well. And have them excited about learning and excited about their faith, and that's really important.
Yeah, that's great. Have you resolved the drop-off timing? I saw a Facebook post with cars backed up onto
Yes.
Pine Street, both directions.
The first week of school is always a
Always,
little
of
tough,
course, yes.
because we don't have any activities that are going on, so it takes a lot of patience on the part of everyone involved. But yes, we are continuing to work on that issue for sure.
Yeah, it's funny, as I mentioned, my grandchild's orientation, it's like, you get in the line and don't get out of your car until we bring the child out, and, keep the line moving,
Yep.
et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's always an issue at the very beginning of the year, but it ends up evening out after we get into the school year and get activities going and aftercare and things like that. As we grow, though, there's always going to be a little bit of traffic, so
Yep.
we appreciate everyone's patience as we work through those things.
Yeah, that's excellent. Speaking of growth, what are you planning for next year? What does next year look like?
Mrs. Fiorente?
600 students, what do you mean?
Well, I'm an optimist, so every year my projections are much higher than they want to give me. So this year my projection was 340 to 350. So 337 was pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say next year definitely 350 to 360. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep. And ask this question the right way. How many students can the school handle appropriately? You hear all about classroom size and number of students in each classroom and et cetera, et cetera. So how big can you go in the current facility?
Well, as my husband would say, they had 700 students, Genevieve. I don't know why you can't have them again. And I have to reiterate to him more than once, we had the nuns there. I said, so the nuns could control 41
Absolutely.
to 50 students in a classroom.
Yep.
So right now, I would say our numbers are great. Sizes range anywhere from 12 to 17 in a class. We have 2 of each classroom, except preschool 3 and our 8th grade. So with that being said, we added an additional 5th grade this year. And we added an additional, I think that was just a 5th grade this year. Yeah. So each year we are continuing growth and making sure that our students have a good ratio.
That's great. So, Erica, what else does Danvers need to know, or anybody that's watching us? We're watched on YouTube all over the world. So anybody that wants to find out about St. Mary's School, what is it that they need to know? What is it they need to do?
Yeah, so just that we have a wonderful school, a wonderful community. As you can see, we have fantastic students,
Yep.
faculty, and staff. If you want to check us out, we're having an open house on October 8th from 9 to 11. You just reach out to Mrs. Fiorente, and she'll put you on the list and come tour our school. Our students are actually our tour guides.
Nice.
And so they give you the best upfront information, very honest about how that works and what the school's like. And we found that parents really appreciate that. And so yes, please come check us out you can check us out on our website too, and we also have Facebook and Instagram.
That's great. Any special events coming up or anything that people should pay attention to?
We have Trunk or Treat that's coming up, and we hang a banner, I believe, in the middle of town, so it tells everyone about the dates and the times. But it's 11 to 1 on October 25th in the backyard of our school. So please come join us. Come get some trunks and treats.
That's
and
great.
have a good time.
Great. And Genevieve?
And I also want to say that we have personal tours from Tuesday to Friday every day at 8:30. So if it's a last minute thing and you can't make it at 8:30 one of those days, I'm very flexible and I accommodate families with their busy schedules.
That's great. And kids, how about you? What are the children of Danvers and surrounding communities need to know about St. Mary's School?
Probably just, it's so great. I mean, it's very welcoming. All the kids are so nice. Everyone's very focused about school. Yeah, I mean.
Great.
I would just say it's just such a great environment. Everybody's so nice, ranging from the teachers to the students. Everyone's so welcoming, and you can tell, like, right when you walk in the building, everyone there is there solely for your education and your well-being, and I think that's just really great.
Well said.
Yeah, I just agree with what they said. Like, it's very welcoming, all the staff and the students, and you should come to St. Mary's.
There you go.
Yeah, going off what they said, it's a really great school. And the teachers really care about seeing you succeed, and it's a great preparation for high school. They give you a really strong foundation for your education.
Excellent. Speaking of high school, I know it's looking farther out than you're probably thinking right now, but what are you thinking of doing with your life? What do you want to major in school?
I don't really know yet, honestly.
Okay, that's a good answer.
But sports, playing a lot of sports.
Good.
So.
Yeah, so for high school, I kind of want to go to the tech, so I might just do a trade there and then maybe not go to college.
Mhm.
So I haven't really thought about that
Yep.
far yet.
That's great.
When I grow up, I really want to be a pediatric nurse. It's kind of been like something I've always wanted to do, so that's what I'm hoping to do.
Excellent.
I mean, I'm open to a lot of things. I feel like I'm still figuring out, but I think
Sure.
it would be so fun to like go into design or like interior design. I think I really like enjoy stuff like that. I think I'm open to exploring, but I think that would be really fun.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Genevieve, when you grow up, what do you? I was kidding.
Well, I'm a grandmother of 4 students that are at St. Mary's right now.
Wow, isn't that nice?
And my 5th granddaughter graduated 2 years ago. So to say I'm not passionate about St. Mary's is
Yes,
an
you are.
understatement.
Yeah. Excellent. Erica, anything else we need to talk about?
No, thank you so much for having us here today. This has
Pleasure.
been lovely, and we just appreciate all that you're doing for the Danvers community and getting the word out about St. Mary's. So
Well,
thank you
thank you.
so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been great. Well, I guess that wraps us up for today. If you want to know more about St. Mary's School, go to their website. There's lots of information on there. They talk all about their mission and their staff and all the events that are going on, so you can find out a lot there. Certainly, if you are interested, take the tour or come to the open houses. And thanks for watching, Danvers. If you miss this when we're broadcasting it on our TV stations, it's always available on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.